What's up, guys? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing well. Just taking live questions, $5. If not, we're going to jump into a general collective creative unconscious reading. Spread of gratitude to our love and light, highest possible messages at this time for the creative collective unconscious. Spirit of gratitude to our love and light, highest possible messages at this time. Okay, we got the Eight of Wands in the upright. This is incoming communication. Eights are about abundance and expansion, so I just feel an influx of good energy coming in as well. Okay, you got the Hermit card. This is particularly in regards to the home front. Okay, the home front. The Hermit in reverse is about the home and the household. So you will be receiving incoming news, some exciting, fresh energy coming in to you. The Seven of Wands in the upright is defensiveness, mixed with the Four of Cups in the reverse is being emotionally open. So I'm getting like a cast of characters here. So this is probably the viewer, the protagonist. Okay, so you are on the fence about this possible incoming communication. On the one hand, you feel as though that there could be victory here with this person, but on the other hand, you feel as though this could be the same old cycle because you got the Two of Swords here. So this is trying to pick between the two options. Okay, is it going to be the same old BS where I'm chained and obligated, or are we going to move forward and advance? Or am I going to be allowed to drive here? So if this is romantic or relationally, or I want to say business-wise as well, I think that the practical, action-oriented side of your mind is open, willing, as long as you're in control. The emotional side as well, I see a very much so openness, to the emotional component. But again, I feel as though that you want your head at the table. You want your seat at head of the table here. Two of Pentacles in the reverse is imbalance of priorities. So you're being cautioned as to not lose sight of the bigger picture here. The Six of Pentacles in reverse is a dissonance in values. Okay, something not working, something not being worked on here, not being able to work and grow. So this might be a major component or a factor for you. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, this is instability in the household financially. Okay, so you're using all of your intellectual devices and tools in your arsenal with the Seven of Swords in the reverse. This is just a beeline, straightforward clarity after a lot of internal reflection here. You're really focused on, and you have a real keen priority on your internal harmony. There's an inner knowing here. There's a way that you want to go about doing something. You've studied a lot in this kind of hermit mode capacity. The King of Cups is in the upright as well. This is emotional maturity. So you being in this kind of isolation has allowed you to grow and mature, okay? And to find out for yourself. And by having these strong foundational moral attributes that I see here with the Six of Wands in the reverse, okay, you are in your divine place and time. And this is going to lead to happiness and harmony for you. I'm not getting this being a flighty sense of happiness and harmony. I'm getting this as a well-earned from consistent and basic action. This is not something that is just kind of an overnight success. This is something that has been heralded due to a long line of experience and putting up with not being at the head of the table, not being at the number one top position. And so you're kind of having to create your own lane here. There's someone that's wanting to turn a blind eye to your success. There's someone that is wanting to act or pretend as if you don't exist. They want to act and pretend as if you are not kind of still kicking ass where you are. It's almost as if they expected you to have moved on, or to have held position or held your ground. And to the contrary, you've kind of proven differently. Spirit, anything else? Spirit, anything else? What's up, Shania George? How's it going? So part of you giving your power away is being very quick to kind of deliver these love offers. You might have your heart on your sleeve, and so you easily want to kind of almost like effervescently, as some sort of like inheritance, probably through your bloodline or your the way you were brought up, where you kind of lead with your heart and your emotion. So this is something to be mindful of, because in the past it's kind of led to sticky situations where you're ending up kind of heartbroken, and you're not able to kind of manifest with the magician in reverse, because it takes two to tango, right? It takes free will for love, real love, to succeed. So let's see what else. What's this Ace of Cup here? I feel as though that there is a new offer though, but again, with your past history, I think it's kind of lent you to being more apprehensive in regards to kind of opening up and availing yourself. I also think that you do often kind of look to the past because for some reason or another you have never been empowered enough, or up until this point you've never accepted the fact that, or embraced the fact that the future is going to be better than the past. And that's solely because now, since you are in the driver's seat, you're no longer on the receiving end of any kind of BS that's just been handed down to you. Now you are co-creating with the universe in the driver's seat. And so now, because you're so used to and programmed to looking to the past, now you have this golden opportunity to realize, oh shit, I'm only looking at the past because a part of me, unconsciously, my psyche, believes that the past is going to be better than the future. Ironically enough, another insider realization that you might be having is that you are realizing that you are actually currently in your past right now. And what I mean by that is when you accept this higher power, you are now living your life as though you are in your own past timeline. So, you know how you watch old documentaries or old videos from like the 50s and the 60s, and you're like, man, if I was alive back then, I would run that joint. I would fucking, run that shit. That's how you're looking at your life now. Okay, you have the ability to be able to do so. I know you know what I'm talking about. But the way that you do that is you already tell yourself certain truths and beliefs. You almost kind of write that code for your own subconscious. You're like, okay, I'm already an old man. I'm already an old woman. Now I'm looking. Remember that song that Tupac had, "Staring at the world through my rear view." So that's what that means. That's what that means. So you're saying this is already played out. Like this is my version of like you think back to 30-year-olds that were in the 90s, right? You're like, this is my version of me being 30 in the 90s. This is my version of the 90s now. But who's looking at that? Who's thinking of that? But this kind of timeless version of you, we're using the example of like an old man or an old woman, a futuristic. But really, truly, the heart of it is that you're looking at it from this kind of timelessness. And from that timelessness is where we're creating. So you're already saying, okay, well, this is played out. I know that there's certain things that I want to do. Let me embrace the peak attributes that I have at my disposal now. Let me do things that a young man or a young woman can do now. Um, that I have all my faculties at my disposal. Let me not just rot away, in an office. Let me not just, do this, that, and the third. Like, let me take some risks. Let me take some chances now, and let me embrace it. Let me say, oh, I'm in a position now where I'm an older person. However many years from now, just extending this example, let me be able to look back and be like, I did that shit. My crazy ass did that shit, and I survived it, and I did it my way, and whatever. So you could look at yourself now from this timeless state, and this is how you program your subconscious. You're like, well, what does this person need? This person needs heart. This person needs courage. This person needs confidence. This person needs love. This person needs respect, money, abundance, love, 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 love. And you're giving yourself that from that kind of timelessness, that higher state, if you will. So in this way, we're kind of, writing code and programming, because if you live life in the present, you're really living in the past, so to speak. You hear the cliche of all of around you is the sum total of all your past decisions. You also hear what you're not changing, you're choosing. Um, I would add to that, what you're not working through or what you're not utilizing currently is also, a waste or a missed opportunity, a wasted or a missed opportunity as well. So. So the moral is have that confidence now. Be ahead of the pack, ahead of the game. Tap into that timelessness. Tap into that future self, so that you can be proud of how you played the game. Because, people are playing the game scuzzy. And they don't like to look at their life from that kind of eagle's eye view where they are able to see all the moves and all the zigs and shit as zags. But like in the reading was saying, if you stick to that bedrock, that moral foundation, those moral pillars and cornerstones of your upbringing, whatever good that was given to you in the form of virtue, and you stick to those tried and true and trusted values, that value system, then you're going to be all right. Amen. Hey, I just received a $12 tip. I was zooming in and out of traffic through LA right now. Staring at the world through my rear view. They got me staring at the world through my rear view. It's so crazy. I just received a fucking $13 tip. Talk about confirmation for that ass. I was at CVS just now, and this lady was talking to this man who was on the self checkout, the scanners, the computers that you could just self checkout. And this lady walks up to him. She's just a customer from the street or whatever. She's coming into the CVS. And she's like, "Sir, where are the locks at? Sir, where are the locks at?" And then the poor old Mexican man is just like, turns around and he's like, "What?" And she's like getting all heated and mad. She's like, "The locks, where are the locks at?" And then she's like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you worked here." And then she just like stormed off all stupid. The dude was wearing like a polo that was similar to the CVS uniforms. Like it was like a navy blue, whatever they wear. And this poor, this poor lady just ran up to this old man and just started harassing him. "Where are the locks at? Where are the locks at?" And this guy's like, "What?" And she was mad at him. She was like indignant at him that he wouldn't tell her where the fucking locks were. Bitch, who are you talking to? Talking to this fucking poor old man that doesn't even work there. She was all stupid. It's like, "Oh, sorry, I thought you worked here." Like that just goes to show you, like when you're walking around with a bad attitude, and it's like you think you're playing the game right, but you're not. You know. So yeah, I mean, I do deliveries in LA on my e-scooter, and you learn a lot. You learn a lot about like human mentality and how to like bob and weave and duck and dive through all the nonsense and the bullshit. Because a lot of what you experience when you're doing something outside the box are ego clingings and trappings and hooks. Something that wants to get attached to your hooks. But since I'm on the spiritual path already and I'm in my kind of higher timeline, divine timing, my highest timeline, then you get to, week in and week out, kind of evolve and you gain understanding and insight as to what these ego pinnings or trappings are. And you learn not to, you see it as something that wants to try to stop you. And it could even come from within as far as trying to fit in socially. I think we all got to pay a price to get into the game, to get into the arena socially. And it's almost universal, but likewise, we could all overlook all the bullshit that is trying to kind of hold us back within ourselves or outside of ourselves. And we realize that it's more than just kind of, brick and mortar. There's something going on here, but you got to peep it. You got to peep game and realize it. So I'm mindful of that. I'm mindful of socially as well, just noticing within myself certain reactions based on other people's reactions. And I mean, I'm zipping around on an electric scooter. I got my helmet on. I got this big old green bag on my back. It's like a big square bag, basically. And I don't know. I just feel like somewhat of a trailblazer. And I had a premonition before I even started doing that, like a year out before even doing that. And I remember like saying something along the lines of like, and like, granted, I feel as though I'm at like the height of my game right now. I'm at the height of my powers, just spiritually, intellectually, as a man, as a person, physically. And, that's kind of what I'm saying is like, let me not begrudge doing this. It's quick cash and whatever. And I've been doing it for over a year, and like I've attained a level of mastery. Zigging in and out of traffic and sidewalks, and LA's crazy. Hollywood, So let me not begrudge that, but I remember having that kind of insight, however long ago, the realization that like we are ourselves like these like traffic lights, like red light, yellow light, green light, and like we're communicating to each other. And ultimately, we could either kind of take motivation and inspiration from each other, or we could keep on denigrating and dragging each other down. But I feel confident and proud of my position, as it feels like some sort of like sheepdog, like I'm like herding like the cattle or something like that, like zipping and zooming around, and um, doing it in a way that I could be proud, avoiding conflict and negativity and confrontation, and avoiding letting people get to me and taking things in a negative personal way. And I've always had the fortune of ruminating over things and trying to think them out and figure them out. I've always had the benefit of being always, very much so introspective. So um, a part of me, I'll admit, was like begrudging, like doing the physicality, doing the physical work of like, zooming in and out, delivering like food orders or whatever. I think ideally the big picture, or maybe even more the societal outlook, would be to plan for something more safe, plan for something more secure, but not at the behest of what you're currently doing. So as to say, I was kind of like, getting down on myself for doing deliveries and stuff, um, but then I kind of had that realization of like, let me embrace it. Like this is something that I could do now, and I could look back and be like, I was a badass. I was doing that. I was doing something that a lot of people aren't willing to do, um, because of their ego or their pride, or their fear, just kind of locally, or just physically, um, you know. And I like to say, and I like to think that I kind of overcame all that shit, and I moved away from that 9 to 5 lifestyle, and uh, I took my kind of story into my own hands, and the more and more that we do that, um, then I think the more kind of fruitful and rich and worthy our lives become, so as to say, a life worth living, you know. Um, so yeah, to me, shit like that is interesting, and persevering past, all the thoughts of doubt, all the whatever we inherit as people in this human condition. That's the real triumph. Is like any negative doubt or thought or anything, whether it's internal or external. All it wants to do is try to stop you or keep you from doing something that you're capable of doing. So if there's something that wants to keep you from pushing the envelope, or inspiring others, then you got yourself a hater. Whether it's tangibly manifested as another person or just an energy. Um, let's see if any other tarot wants to come out here. If not, I'll probably sign off and chill and eat some lunch. I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sheriff Brown. Just go real into it. For the killing of the deputy. All alone. Mm-hmm. Okay, sitting high and mighty on your throne. Mm. I'm sensing that you've had a lot of immature people in your field, in your auric field, in your energetic aura, in your energetic field. And you're almost like, what the fuck? Like you're having to be like the emotional leader of the pack. And it's like, when am I going to catch a break? Are you ready? Be absurd. Ain't no need. Cause hold on. Cause I'm coming home. Cause I'm coming. Boom, 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 boom. Got an incoming call. This person says, I want to know about my current marriage status. Is it good for me to stay or leave? I don't know why this lady just hung up on me. Should I stay or should I go? All right, guys, I'm going to log off. I might jump on again later. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to get some lunch. I'll let you boy.